The road had no name. Or if it did, the sign had rotted away years ago, swallowed by ivy and rust. It cut straight through the woods like a scar. Two narrow lanes of cracked asphalt, hemmed in by trees that leaned too close, their branches knitting together overhead. No moon, no stars, just the steady sweep of headlights and the whisper of tires on damp pavement. Evan kept both hands on the wheel. He told himself he was calm. He told himself that if he drove slow enough, alert enough, he'd see him. That's why he was out here. An hour earlier, his phone had buzzed with a single text from his friend Mark. Can't find the trail. Think I took the wrong road. Battery's low. Then nothing. No reply, no ping, just silence. So Evan drove, past the last gas station, past the final street lamp, into the woods that swallowed sound and signal alike. The radio crackled uselessly, static rising and falling like breath. The quiet that followed felt heavy, like the car had sunk underwater. Every so often, he slowed, peering down side roads and dirt paths. His eyes ached from straining. The woods pressed in, endless and identical, trunks flashing by like ribs. Then he saw her. She stood on the shoulder of the road, just beyond a bend, illuminated suddenly by his headlights. Evan's foot slammed the brake on instinct. The car skidded slightly before stopping. She was young, early 20s maybe. Long dark hair hung loose around her face, damp as if from rain, though the night was dry. She wore a pale dress, too thin for the cold, that fluttered faintly, even though there was no wind. She raised a hand, shielding her eyes from the lights. Evan's heart pounded. Out here? At this hour? He cracked the window. Are you okay? She stepped closer. Her face came into clearer view, pale, strained, eyes too bright. Please, she said. I need help. I've been walking for hours. Can you take me to the nearest town? Evan hesitated. Every warning he'd ever heard chimed in his head. Middle of nowhere. Late at night. Stranger. But then she hugged her arms around herself, shivering. I wouldn't ask if I had another choice, she said quickly. I don't want to be out here anymore. Something about the way she said out here made Evan's skin prickle. He glanced down the road behind her. Nothing but darkness. Get in, he said. She smiled with visible relief and hurried around to the passenger side. When she opened the door, a gust of cold air swept into the car, sharp, biting, smelling faintly of wet leaves and old earth. She closed the door softly. Thank you, she said. Thank you so much. Evan pulled back onto the road. What happened? Car trouble? She shook her head. I was with friends. We got separated. I thought I could find the road again, but the woods just go on forever. He nodded, eyes forward. There's a town about 10 miles back. I'm actually looking for someone myself. Her head tilted slightly. Someone you lost? Yeah, he said. My friend. He texted me from somewhere around here. She was quiet for a moment. Then, that's funny. What is? She smiled faintly. People are always looking for someone on this road. Evan laughed, a little too loudly. Guess it's that kind of place. They drove on. After a few minutes, Evan realized something was off. He couldn't hear her breathing. The car was quiet. Too quiet. No shifting of fabric. No subtle movements. He glanced sideways. She sat perfectly still, hands folded in her lap, staring straight ahead. Her reflection in the windshield looked dim, almost blurred, like a smudge on glass. You cold? He asked. She didn't answer. You said the nearest town. He paused. You are from around here, right? Slowly she turned her head to face him. Her eyes looked darker now, deeper, like the light didn't quite reach them. I didn't say I was from here, she replied. The temperature in the car dropped. Evan's breath fogged faintly. He swallowed. Where are you from? She looked forward again. Not far. The road stretched on, unchanged. Evan frowned. He should have reached the crossroads by now. Hey, he said, trying to keep his tone light. Do you remember passing a big oak tree, split down the middle by lightning? She nodded. Yes. I don't think we've passed it yet. Her lips twitched. Maybe you weren't looking. The radio suddenly snapped on by itself. Static screamed through the speakers. Evan jumped, fumbling to turn it off, but the knob spun uselessly under his fingers. Through the static came a voice, warped, distant. Help me. Evan's stomach dropped. Mark? The girl turned slowly toward the radio, listening intently. Can't see. It's dark. Evan slammed the radio off. Silence crashed back into the car. His hands shook. That wasn't funny. She frowned. I didn't do anything. The trees seemed closer now, their branches clawing at the edges of the headlights. The road narrowed, the lines fading. Where exactly are we? Evan asked. She smiled again. This time it didn't reach her eyes. You're getting close. Close to what? She leaned toward him, to where everyone stops. The headlights flickered. I'm pulling over. He eased his foot toward the brake. Don't, she said sharply. Her voice was suddenly wrong, layered, echoing, as if several people spoke at once. Evan hit the brake anyway. The car lurched to a stop. He turned fully toward her. Get out. Her face went slack, empty. Then she laughed softly. You invited me in. The interior lights flicked on. The passenger seat was empty. No door opening, no sound of movement. Just an indentation in the seat cushion, slowly rising, as if something had stood up and vanished. Evan screamed. He threw the car into drive and floored it. The engine roared as the car tore down the road, headlights bouncing wildly. Trees blurred past. His mind raced, replaying the empty seat, the cold, the voice on the radio. The road twisted sharply ahead, and then he saw someone. A figure stumbling along the shoulder, waving frantically. Mark! Evan shouted. He slammed the brakes, skidding to a stop beside him. Mark yanked open the door and collapsed into the passenger seat, gasping. Dude, thank God. My phone died. I swear I've been walking in circles for hours. Evan stared at him, chest heaving. Mark looked real, solid, alive. You okay? Mark asked. You look like you saw a ghost. Evan laughed weakly. Yeah, something like that. He pulled back onto the road. The woods began to thin. In the distance, he could see the warm glow of town lights. Mark rubbed his arms. Man, it's freezing in here. Was your window open? Evan shook his head. No. Mark glanced down at the passenger seat, frowning. Why's the seat wet? Evan's grip tightened on the wheel. Probably condensation, he said. Mark shrugged, looking out the window as the first street lamp passed overhead. This road's creepy as hell. You didn't see anyone else out there, did you? Evan opened his mouth. Then he pictured the empty seat, the voice on the radio, the way the girl had smiled. He closed it again. No, he said quietly. Just the trees. Behind them, deep in the woods, something watched the taillights fade, waiting for the next driver, who was looking for someone.